figures on multifamily spending have remained very modest. In fact, there was supposedly a decline in the October numbers that came out from the Census Bureau on December 1st. Year over year, the October figures are up 7% from what was a very low base a year ago. But when you look at permits, up 48%, and starts up a whopping 89%, when you look at the commercial real estate data services that say that all markets around the country have had an improvement in vacancies and effective rents, you have to expect a big upturn in construction spending on multifamily in 2012.
Between October of 2010 and October of 2011, multifamily housing starts were up around 60%. That's a big number and would have been difficult to predict. My guess is that we'll see more multifamily construction starts and more growth in that segment. It's one of the only segments that's readily being financed. There is a existing audience for apartments. We see a lot of young people now moving into apartments, and this has everything to do with the pace of job creation. Obviously, if the pace of job creation accelerates, which it very well might into 2012, that would mean even more demand for apartments, and that's a reasonable outlook to have. There will be segments of non-residential construction that will accelerate nicely in 2012. But with respect to single-family residential construction, I don't think 2012 is the year that the recovery begins in earnest.
Well, infrastructure depends largely on government funding, and unfortunately, I see nothing but bad news ahead for that in terms of how much money will be available for construction. Federal government spending will at best be level and will probably decline in several categories, such as money for the General Services Administration, the Corps of Engineers, both the river and harbor projects and military projects, and money for water and wastewater treatment under the state revolving funds. All of those are likely to head down. We may see level funding for highways, transit, and aviation, and perhaps a small boost for rail, but certainly nothing like what the administration had been hoping for. State and local construction is actually a bigger piece of the total, and those aren't directly affected by what Congress is going to do or allow to have happen. But the news isn't good on the state and local side either. State tax revenues have been rising, but most of that money is going for Medicaid, other income security programs, or for pension and health care for retirees, state employment systems. At the local level, school districts and local governments depend heavily on property tax receipts, which have continued to fall as house prices drop.